Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to FATHEADZ. What am I doing? It's Showtime Paul Strickland Jr. We've got Rowdy Wesley Hogan of both. Rowdy, bring us in, brother.
Welcome to FATHEADZ TV, ladies and gentlemen. As Paul said, my name is Wes Rowdy Hogan. It feels good to get back in this booth one more time here, and we are here for it's Bristol, baby. 150, the round of 8 playoffs. Paul, thank you for getting me back up in here. It's been a minute, and you can see here we got about 21 cars here scheduled to start here at Bristol, with Spear in that 7 leading the way.
Absolutely great to have you back, brother. It's been a long time since you've been up here in the booth. Taking a quick peek here at the qualifying order, and you can see Chris Spear up front in the number 7, Trevor Abshner. Very, very energetic driver out on the outside. He's already got a couple of wins on the season, or a win here on the season, trying to win his way into the championship race here in Texas coming up in a couple of weeks. Preston Perrier, Tim Wortman Jr., and Jimmy Absher, very strong throughout the season. That's your top 5, and you can see the rest of the 18 cars, or the 21-car field on your screen as we get ready to go for 150 laps here at Bristol. Going to be a real quick race as these guys come down. Lights are off on that iRacing Mustang pace car. Everybody's lined up 2 by 2, and you can see the qualifying team speeds there on your screen. Going to be a great race. Tim Wortman Jr., Preston Perrier, Trevor Absher, Matt Mackin, Ken Eller, Kenny Capola, David Douthwaite, and Alonzo King. Your 8 drivers vying for 4 positions at that championship race here at Texas coming up in a couple of weeks' time. And oh, by the way, these guys announced their their next season is going to be kicking off with the Clash at the Daytona Road Course on July 28th, and that's going to be under the Loose Lugs Cup Series, and that's going to be right here on FATHEADZ TV on Wednesday night. So we're really looking forward to that. Glad to have this group here back with us. Pace cars off, buddy. We're going green.
We are green flag heat racing here at Bristol as Chris Spear gets the whole shot here from Perrier as the 13 comes off the corner. They are neck to neck coming through 3 and 4. A lot of action already all over this racetrack, Paul. Hard to keep up with it. 23 bounces off the wall. 15 gets little tuck, and there we go. Caution is already out. Big one further in the back. The 5 I know involved of Wade Palmer, the 4th. Looks like he got a little bit of help coming through 3 and 4. Went around, had it saved. Then the 96 and the 48 involved. Paul's going to get us a replay here. Wade Palmer, though, bringing out our first caution of the night.
And that's exactly what the 13 car have needed. It seems like that car very, very loose up front in that 13 Geico Snar machine. But I'm going to pull up the Kong Beer Bong instant replay, take a quick peek from the blimp view here, focus in on the number 5 machine, Wade Palmer the fourth, and you can see side-by-side racing here. There's some contact between the 15 and the 23, and it looks like the 5 car just gets on the brakes to try to avoid it, gets a little bit of a tapski from the back end, sends him on around. The good news is not that big of a hit. Bad news, he's going to have to restart all the way back in 19. So tough break for the 5 car, the Hendrick Motorsports entry of Wade Palmer the fourth. But the good news is he's got plenty of time to get back on track, get down pit road, get that thing banged out, and get back out on the racetrack.
Action here happens at Bristol quickly. As you can see, we barely got through a first lap there before the first yellow came out. We saw that 13 there, Paul. You mentioned Perrier. He got super sideways. Even once the caution flew, the yellow was already out. He came into the corner and smoked him. Possibly a little bit of right front damage there on that machine. But quick note, if you are new here to the Fatheads Cup League, one cool thing that they do here is they kind of mimic the actual NASCAR Cup Series teams as well as paint schemes. So you see some familiar paint schemes out here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And that's because they do something a little bit more unique here doing that. That's something I like about this league, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely, and really easy to follow along at home and up here in the booth as well. Want to take a quick moment to thank our sponsors, though. We support those that support us, SimNut Racing Sims. They offer high-quality sim racing cockpits and monitor stands, rigid, durable, and customizable to fit your any need. Their rigs are manufactured and shipped in a 300,000 square foot facility right here in the good old U.S. of A. By Budget Sim Boxes. If you're looking for a button box while maintaining your budget rig, well, you've come to the right place. They've got 3 different baseline models ranging from $38 to $60. Custom builds are also available with pricing depending on the button and switches and all the different configurations that you're looking for. And also by Butt Kicker. These guys have been around for a very long time. Big supporters of sim racing. Their products are silent subwoofers that deliver powerful inaudible bass through your couch or your chair so you can feel the effects of a crash or your movie sound effects at home. By Harpoon Design, online image is everything in today's business world. From brand identity to effective digital marketing graphics, Harpoon Design is your one-stop shop for all your graphic needs. By Fatheads Eyewear, go get you a pair. I got mine. I got them. They look great. They look great at the racetrack. Very recognizable as well. Everybody sees that you're wearing Fatheads. Check them out, fatheads.com with a Z. 40% off Showtime. A 40% Showtime promo code Showtime. Blah blah blah. Going green.
Paul, you could have get the whole promo out by the time we go back green flag racing here on the 7 car here on lap 7 is the number 7 of Chris Spear. He's able to get the whole shot again from the 13, who's under fire now from the 19 of Trevor Apsher. Apsher looking low. He's able to bring it up, door handle, coming across the line, and caution is out. One more time here, and it is once again looks like the 5 machine of Wade Palmer. He's involved again here, coming through 3 and 4. Got a little sideways, may have got a little bit of help again here, Paul.
Yeah, we saw early on these cars definitely look like they're on the loose side. We've been watching these guys in practice. They always have at least an hour or so of practice time right before the race here, but we tell these drivers drive or practice rather all week long. And we'll take another look here at the Kong Beer Bong instant replay. Here's the 5 car. Focus in on him, the HendricksCars.com number 5, and gets on down into the corner, gets a little bit loose, loses the car by himself. Looks like he might have almost had it, but there was Coppola. Gave him just a little bit of a shot in the back end and sent him on around to finish off that spin. But again, just kind of a quick, lazy spin. Grabs the gear, gets on going once again. So the 5 car still in the lead lap, it looks like, but still in the back of the pack, having some handling issues.
Bristol's a tricky subject here, Paul. You can either hit the setup or you can miss the setup. Even during the fixed setups, you can still change things such as your brake bias, your steering ratio. There's different things you can still do in the cockpit of the car. And a lot of these guys take advantage of that. And it looks like that driver there needs to have a little bit more front brake because the rear brake is just catching them. But at the same time, that's a fine line you walk. Having that rear brake may help you rotate a little bit better, save that right front tire. But again, flirting with a fine line. And I would like to make mention as well, I think, Paul, you may have mentioned earlier, is you see some of these cars out here, Paul, if you want to focus in on one with a green spoiler. The cars you see with the green spoiler, you see some green accents like you see on the 19 machine. Those are your drivers that are in the final 8 here in the playoffs. So able to recognize them a little bit quicker and easier. You see the 13 machine there with the green across the windshield and his spoiler. So those are the drivers to watch that are fighting for this championship.
For sure, and these guys, a lot of these guys, the cream always rises to the top, as we like to say. One of my most favorite quotes out of the wrestling world that kind of fits in right along with the racing world and the sim racing world, and those drivers still eligible for that championship. Tim Wortman Jr. in the 00, Preston Prier, there you see him, and the 13 of Trevor Absher there on your screen, the 13 and the 19, Matt Mackin. The 48 car, he's still involved for the championship. Ken Ellert, Kenny Capolo, we saw him get a little bit close and personal there on the back end of the 5 car. David Douthwaite and Alonzo King just edging out the 88 of Ed Boyles Jr. for that final championship spot last week. And man, it's been intense watching these guys race, trying to get them into the championship hunt and trying to get down as the weeks go forth, and man, it's just awesome to have these guys here on a Wednesday night. I'm excited. We're getting ready to go green one more time. 2 quick cautions here early on, and it seems like these guys are kind of fighting loose conditions just a little bit, but hopefully we get some grip onto the racetrack there. You can see a great shot of the high line. There's a bunch of rubber build up there from practice, but a great start for the number 7 of Chris Spear. Gets the whole shot, and it looks like the top 4 already single file as they get onto the backstretch.
Hard racing throughout the field here. The top few figured out how to get it done here. They hurry up, they get single file, and now let's put in some laps, as it looks like that 5 machine of Wade Palmer, the 4th, has retired from the race, so he will not finish, unfortunately, this event. But with that being said, it looks like they're starting to get this groove now. Yes, it's only been a few laps, but as a driver, you get sick of these cautions back-to-back cautions. It looks like they might have. All right, let's get this thing underneath us. So the 15, Ryan Kling hits the wall. He collects the 95, spinning across the back or front stretch. Not exactly sure there. Oh, Barca breaks. The 22 sends the 15 into a big twirl in the air. Boy, oh boy, big trouble here again at Bristol.
And there you see a green spoiler for the number 95 of Ken Ellert. That's not good. The only saving grace really is that we've got a shorter field here tonight, 21 drivers. So still going to be feeling the effects of that coming in on the back half of the bubble, trying to get into the race here. But we're going to focus in on this one more time. It looks like it started up front with the number 15 car. So we'll pull up that Kong Beer Bong instant replay, and we'll take a quick peek here. And there you can see the 15 on the outside slaps the wall, comes on down right in front of Dave Douthwaite, the number 23, makes some contact with Ken Ellert. Boom! 22, Colin Zemer comes in, gets into that car very, very hard. That's a big hit for the 15 car there of Ryan Kling. I don't imagine he's going to be able to continue. You can see there's definitely some terminal issues there. Black smoke coming out from underneath of that thing. The 95, a lot of damage as well of Ken Ellert, one of the championship contenders, and Colin Zemer as well. It looks like Colin is down on pit road, maybe calling it quits on the night. Might try and work on that car just a little bit, but man, oh man, a championship contender finding some trouble early here, Wes.
Paul, the 33 as well, Tim Ingram, a separate incident coming off of turn 4 right behind that. He may have been seeing it, checked up, and lost it coming out of turn 4, ate the inside wall, and you'll see the 3 machine barely misses him if we can get a clip of that. Boy, oh boy, that 3 car, though, what a great job of Kenny Capala missing that.
Yeah, lots of heads-up driving here in the Fatheads Cup Series. And that promo I was trying to get through earlier, go to fatheads.com, fatheads with a Z. Use promo code. I don't know why I struggled with promo code so hard. Use promo code Showtime. They named it after me. You got 40% off at checkout. Pretty cool deal. I picked up the, I forget the name of the brand that I picked up, but they're really good, really sharp-looking glasses. Retail price was $170, I think it was. I picked them up for $80, so pretty damn cool to have. Awesome to have the Fatheads eyewear on board with these guys, big supporters of racing and sim racing. So definitely check them out, give them a little bit of love. And as always, here at Vidane TV, if you like what you're seeing, tip the crew. $3 will get us a hot dog. No, $3 will get us a beer. $10 will get us a beer and a hot dog. $25 will get us DoorDash. Scan the QR code on your screen or punch in tip.vidane.net in your address bar. Obviously, we don't require any donations or tips or anything like that, but they are always very much appreciated by the crew up here in the booth in the production trailer. Lights off on the pace car once again, lined up 2 by 2. Still status quo up front. 713 Spear and Perrier up on that front row. Green flag is out.
Paul, it seems like the strategy of this race so far early is get the whole shot and you're going to be set. Here's the 19 of Absher. Absher, though, wanted that second position. He's able to get it early as he's able to file in line in front of the 13 of Perrier. Here he goes, coming off a turn 4, closing up, keeping up in that mirror of the 7 of Spear, making sure he sees that he's there. And he looks like he's in a hurry here, Paul. He sees how these cautions are coming out. Wants to get up there, he wants to lead some laps, and he wants to do it quickly. As you see, we are in car with him. A little bit of front end damage here, but unlike a lot of the tracks, folks, that aerodynamic advantage you don't have at these short tracks. You can finish without a front end and almost be up to speed.
Yeah, riding on board, you can see right out the windshield here some damage from an early incident with him and Preston Perrier. 13 got a little bit loose in the first couple of laps, but Trevor Absher, very, very talented driver here. Lots of high energy. Really, one of the things, I've compared him to Josh Parker a couple of times, and Wes, it's been a little while since you and I have shared the booth. He's got a little bit of Wesley Hogue in him, too. High energy, high confidence, wants to go out, win every damn race that he's in, and he'll be the first one to tell you that, too. But that's Joe Gibbs Racing, number 19 car, Tracker Boats, Toyota. Very, very strong right now, running in the second position. Oh, kisses the wall just a little bit, but trying to do everything he can to get up to the back bumper of that 7 car. And that 13 of Preston Perrier, that's what he wanted to see. He wanted to see Trevor make a little bit of a mistake, slow him down just a little bit, and you can see the 13 closes right in, smelling blood in the water, so to speak, here as we work lap number 27.
A little bit further back for the 4th position, that 47 of Alonzo King. He bounced off the wall a couple times. He opened up the door for the 20 of Charles Stevens. However, he gets it back up and going. And Paul, it's hard to not be like that. As you're talking about Absher, you go out there, you run hard 100% of the time. You got to remind yourself, you got to save your stuff sometimes. And you try to win every race, but you can't win it on the first lap. And you got to remind yourself once in a while that you got to take a deep breath and get into a rhythm. And that's what looks like these drivers are finally able to do here, as we have the 15 machine was just down pit road. I believe he has now, Ryan Kling, he is actually still on pit road getting service his machine. So definitely an unscheduled pit stop there. But Paul, we might be finally getting into that rhythm these drivers have been searching for, being able to just kind of ride it out. As Absher now heading down. Oh, he missed pit road. The 19 and Absher went to go down pit road. He missed pit road. Now he is doing everything he can to keep it on the bottom, stay out of everybody's way. Pit stops coming up. I'm not sure, Paul, I'm not sure if these are scheduled, seeing a couple drivers coming in so early.
I'm almost wondering if the 19, we definitely saw Ryan Kling, the 15 car, had a bunch of damage involved in one of those early wrecks. I'm wondering if Trevor Absher has maybe an overheating issue with the front end of that car kind of caved in. It's very unlikely to be thinking about coming down pit road 30 laps here in at Bristol. That's really only 15 miles, so I don't think they're worrying about fuel too much. You can see he's dropped all the way back behind Michael Miller in the 48 car, but it seems like he's back on track. I'm not entirely sure what went on there.
Paul, he slowed down out of 4, like he was going down pit road. He missed the commitment cone, so he came back up on the track, and it's like he's like, all right, let's try this again. So maybe a change of heart there for the 19, but he let several cars go. As we see, the 23 is off the pace here. He's down the 48 by, as well as the 96, battling further on back. But back up front now, Paul. That 47 machine is starting to really stack them up. Of Alonzo King, he's got Tim Wortman in the 00 behind him, as well as Charles Stevens, and now the 18 of Jimmy Absher, all lined up trying to figure out a way around him.
There you can see him on screen. Tim Wortman Jr., the regular season champion in that 00 car, looking one of the only drivers that's really peeking on the inside. There you see the 33 down low. Tim Ingram going down a lap there, but everybody pretty much working the high side. As you can see, the 00 car keeps peeking on the inside. And you can see the 8-ball whiskey machine. There's Alonzo getting up in the wall once again, scraping just enough to scrape the paint just a little bit. That's going to be enough to get Wortman around. Move Tim Wortman in the 00 car up to the podium spot in the number 3 position.
Hard racing all over this racetrack now, Paul. You got the lap traffic is now, of course, becoming a factor. You know that eventually is going to happen in these short track races once you get these green flag runs in, is with what you want to see, and that also comes into the strategy. How can you work your way around the lap traffic? And they could definitely make or break your run. So, but up front, one driver that's not having any problem is Chris Spear in that number 7 machine, as he's pulled out a sizable lead now onto Perrier in that number 13, about a little over a second lead now.
New colors for the number 7 of Chris Spear. You can see Schulter Systems on that car. Beautiful white and orange and black paint scheme. Kind of, I almost want to call it a Jeff Gordon kind of sort of throwback, but not quite different colors. In any sense, very, very sharp paint scheme for the number 7. We saw new colors for Alonzo King there in the 47, rocking the MVP up on the hood and the butt kicker going down the sides. And we just came off Darlington here a few weeks ago, had a lot of throwback paint schemes, and one of the big things with the iRacing service, you can run pretty much any paint scheme you want. So a lot of times when you see these drivers do some sort of throwback race, they'll kind of come back with something new and exciting as far as the paint schemes go. And the iRacing actually has a new promo out. They've got $20.22, I believe it is. If you go to iRacing.com, you can get the service for an entire year. Comes with a whole bunch of tracks and cars. You get the Legends cars, the street stocks, all sorts of cool stuff. Some great tracks like Lanier, and obviously some of the bigger cars, the bigger tracks, and other tracks you have to purchase on the side. But very, very cool deal. Definitely check it out. If you're watching at home and you're not familiar with iRacing, 3 wide action. Ken Eller thinks a little bit better of it. He backs up just a little bit. Going to lose some momentum, and Chris Spear is going to go by, putting him 1 lap down. 11 cars currently on the lead lap. But if this is something you want to try out at home, definitely check out iRacing.com. Check them out on Facebook. And as always, check out the Dane TV YouTube page. Very happy to say we just hit 500 subscribers. Awesome racing action throughout. Currently running 3 nights a week. And you can see some of the lead lap cars getting tangled up with the lap cars here, Wes.
Yeah, again, we talked about it. This lap traffic will become an issue now. The 13 Perrier watching these lap cars battle 3 wide as you see the 9 bounce off the wall. He was kind of a rolling roadblock of Mack in there, but he's able to hold it straight. Now Perrier is going to work on the 95 of Ken Eller. But Paul, during that the last 5 laps, we saw the 33. He ended up going down pit road for service. So it's interesting seeing some of these cars head down pit road. 33 is actually still in pit road of Tim Ingram, so the 15 is still down pit road of Tim Ingram, so any Ingram fans, if you look for the 15, that's where he's at. The 33 is still on pit road as well. I'm sorry, Ryan Kling in the 15, Ingram's in the 33, two cars that are there on pit road. Again, interesting, Paul, seeing these guys, but again, they're sitting in there for a while, so I'm assuming this isn't for tires, this isn't for fuel, they've got some heavy damage, and they're probably realizing, all right, I'm just in everybody's way, let's get this stuff fixed and see what we can do with it. So, but back up front, Perrier now trying to reel in Spear. Spear now has a 2.5 lead.
Yeah, and you can see Preston finally got through that lap traffic, and he's got his sights set on the back bumper of Chris Spear, and he's going to try and make up a little bit of time, and you can see got down to about 1.3.5, 1.4 seconds, gaining just hairs at lap in and lap out, as you can see on the left-hand side of your screen on the Dane TV tower, the scoring tower there, new graphics that we started using about 2 weeks ago, and we're very excited to have SDK Gaming on board here with us. And there you can see the gap between the 7 and the 13, the 33 coming off pit road to try and get that car up to speed. Tim Ingram struggling with some handling issues here, but a new third place car, or still in third place rather, Tim Wortman Jr. In that 00 car. He's got that green spoiler. He and Preston both locked into the championship round of 8. Chris Spear going out there just trying to win himself a race, and you can see a couple more of the cars up in the front. Crazy to see that number 19 of Absher getting ready to go a lap down there. You can see him up front in front of Miller in their 48 car.
Paul, he actually just took the 9th position from Miller in that 48, so he is trying to move back up through this field. However, something has gone on since this restart where we saw him battling for the lead and now suddenly going a lap down. That damage that he has on the front end has to be the culprit here for him. There's no way he burnt up his tires that quickly, but as we see Chris Spears now put the Michael Miller machine in that 48 down a lap, he set sights on the 19, and as the leader, when you got a guy that you know is a fast guy, you want to make sure you can put him down a lap if you get the opportunity, and I think that's what he has his eyes set on.
100%, especially with that confidence level that the 19 has with every single race that he goes into. Wants to make sure that he's up front and still holding on to a top 10 right now, so not a terrible points night, but right now that's definitely not where Trevor wants to be. He wants to be up front. He wants to be leading this thing. Wants to talk to us at the end of the road, end of the show here in the post-race show, and it's always good to have him on here. You can see the 96 off the pace just a little bit. Joshua Nolan a few laps down, it looks like. But man, oh man, you can see there's battles pretty much all over the racetrack right now. We're working 9 cars on the lead lap here in the early goings of Bristol. 60 laps, working towards lap 60, almost halfway. 75 laps will be halfway in this 150 lap race at Bristol, and you can see David Douthwaite getting a mirror full of Ken Eller. Ken Eller going to go all the way down onto the bottom side, get a great hole shot, and just kind of shoot on around on the bottom side, like almost like he was standing still. That's a battle for position a couple of laps back. So there you can see Tim Wortman working in front of the 33. Action all the way across this racetrack.
Paul, we got something interesting happening, developing here as the 7 is coming up to Absher to lap him, but now Absher passes Ed Boyles Jr. in the 88, moves up 1 position, gets into P8. Thought maybe Spear was going to have, as he still has here, he has a little bit of a dilemma here as these guys battle for position, trying to put him down a lap as the 88 pulls over, lets him go, does the gentleman thing there. I'm sure Chris Spear is very is thankful of that. Now again, he just set his sights on Absher. Now the next car for Absher to pass for position will be the 20 of Charles Stephen, who is about a straightaway ahead of him basically. So we're really going to see how far off the pace he is here as the 7 comes out of turn 4 here, or I'm sorry, turn 2, and he's ever so slightly catching up, but there, as you see, the 95 on fresh tires. Boy, you see how the difference of fresh tires is here. He tries to get one of his laps back, feeling like Superman, but things happen quick, fast, and in a hurry here at Bristol as the 95 whips his way through the field, trying to make the best of those tires. Oh, he gets in the back of the 43, sends him 3 wide off of 4. Oh, man, that is getting hairy, and that's not what our leader wants to see. Is now he's in a gaggle of cars trying to get through here.
Yeah, we were taking a peek at the number 20 of Charles Stevens, doing a great job with his part-time schedule here. Had a pretty good run of races here on Verdane TV here in the Fatheads Cup Series, and you can see his teammate there slowly catching on up, the 19 of Abshner, just trying to get around this 33 car on the high side. The 33 currently being scored in 17th, but there you can see the leader's made his way around up through that gaggle of cars, and he's closing in on the back bumper of that number 19 Bass Pro Shop Tracker Boats, and that you can see Trevor is just wheeling that car for everything it's got. Very, very loose off of turn number 4 as he comes off the turns. He wants to stay on the lead lap. This is a good track for him. We made mention of it last week when we talked to him, and it's
big wreck in front of the leaders. 2 cars in the wall, and they somehow hold it straight. 2 cars bounce off the wall, Paul.
Trevor Absher
in the wall. Oh, man, the leaders check up and we stay green. I'm so sorry to cut you off there, Paul, but we had 2 cars come through the corner. Alonzo King being one of them in the 47. They both slap the wall. They keep it straight. No yellow. Somehow, the 19 gets put into the wall, and now he will finally go down a lap. Wow, what some action there. And we stay green.
Damn, it's good to have you back in the booth.
Woo! Got my blood pressure going up there.
There we go, and you can see the 7 car now has a mirror full. That second place car, Preston Perrier, after Spears spent all this time over the past 10-15 laps trying to get through that lap traffic, really closed up the gap to second, and now third place, Tim Wortman Jr., starting to close up on the back bumper. The 13 is car as well, and we're coming up on halfway, so we may very well have some green flag pit stops if these guys are going to have to pit for fuel.
Paul, that really hurt Trevor Absher as he has fallen back quite a bit now. And not only did he lose the opportunity at the position, did he fall back a lap, he got more damage, and now he's back in 9th, and that car is off pace as the 9 machine has made his way down pit road. Now, the 47 somehow gets out of the leader's way there. Man, I would almost call that a risky move. I know he was trying to do the right thing. That almost wadded them up. Boy, oh boy, you're up on your toes now. Halfway to go here in this race, and no shortage of any action. As now Charles Stevens, he picked up a position after all of that, but now he's the one that's looking to go down a lap next to the 7. But the 7's mirror full of the 13 was a great run come off of 4.
Racing for the lead, racing for position, racing to try and be the first car 1 lap down. This is the kind of action you get on Wednesday nights here with the Fatheads Cup Series. Be sure to check them out on Facebook, over on the website. on the Bedane TV page, Facebook page, on the YouTube page. Shoot on over to the YouTube page as well. Give us a quick little subscribe. We finally hit 500 subscribers. A little bit of a kiss, wall kiss there for the 13 of Preston Perrier. But the top 3 cars, after all of that, Wes, all of that, we're crossing the line, getting down halfway. These top 3 cars, you could throw a tow chain in between the 3 of them. It wouldn't even hit the ground. They're racing so tight.
Paul, and Absher, that will be it for Trevor Absher. As he headed down pit road with Alonzo King there, and I think he kind of he threw in the white flag after that. He threw in the towel. He surrendered his opportunity to win this one. Now I think he's going to try to just get that car fixed up as much as he can and get whatever he can out of this. But unfortunately, Trevor Absher in that 19, too much damage and too much carnage in the first half of this race. However, all of those issues have put our leaders nose to tail, as you see Joshua Battles here in the 43, multiple laps down on fresh tires, working his way around the leaders to get one of those laps back. But also, Paul, to make note of it, we now only have 6 cars on the lead lap. That's 6 cars. The 20 car being the next car that is 6th position. That could be the next one going down a lap, and he's not even far from it. So these boys are putting it on him here at Bristol.
One of those cars on the lead lap, the number 3 J&R Aquatics Chevrolet of Kenny Capola, up 15 positions from the start, having a great run in that RCR number 3 car. And you can see Jimmy Absher down on pit road. He's going to come down, bring the M&M's Camry down, get some service. So I think these guys are knowing that they're about halfway. They know they can, if they made it halfway, they can make it halfway again on fuel. So I think you're going to see, once these cars start getting fresher tires on them, really going to start seeing these guys come down pit road.
And you can already see what fresh tires will do for you here. You see more and more cars headed down pit road. Sometimes the tires are more important than the fuel, as now we see the 9 car making his way around the leader on those fresh tires. The leader's coming up on this is where it's crazy here, Paul. You got guys on fresh tires coming up 22 in the 9 making contact. You got fresh tires coming up on old tires, coming up on guys on the lead lap, coming up on guys that are multiple laps down. There's so much going on. It's 9 of the 22 stay knocking bumpers here, allowing the lead lap cars to go around, or at least the cars that are on a higher lap than them going around. Excuse me. Just so much going on here. But now these leaders are back into fresh air, and you can kind of take a breather now. If you're the 7 of Spear, if you're Preston Perrier in the 13. All that drama's gone for now.
Yeah, and you can see on that last shot there, last lap, looking at 6 or 7 different stories, 4 or 5 different laps, 3 or 4 different racing battles in the same shot. As you can see, we're looking back from the leader, Chris Spear. The 48 of Michael Miller, he's a lap down. He's got fresher tires. He's going to shoot on by on the inside. And still looking back at that second place car, the number 13 of Preston Perrier, he's got a little bit more of a gap on him. But you can see Preston gets a huge run going into the corners, but it seems like the 7 has corner exit figured out, and he's able to kind of drive away. And you can see now on your screen that number 20 of Charles Stevens, the next car, the next victim, so to speak. That's your 5th place car that's getting threatened to go a lap down here.
After that was all said and done, David Douthwaite in the 23 machine, he ended up getting passed by Charles Stevens. I'm not too sure if he made a pit stop or not, but the 19, by the way, Trevor Absher's back on the track, multiple laps down, just out there going for points. He's actually about 10 laps down at least. So, and looking through the field here, Paul, there's maybe 2 or 3 cars without any damage, and our leader is one of them. Second place is not. So. But here we go again, running into lap traffic. The 7 has to get hard on the brakes to miss the 9. The 88 bounces off the wall of Boyles Jr. He runs side by side with our leader. Leader's able to clear him. Now the 13's going to have to worry about the 88. 88 makes a hard turn down the track here. As the 13 now looks slow. He's able to clear him without an issue coming off of turn 4. The leader's again running into that drama. And somehow Stevens has not gone down a lap yet. Might be because he's one of the only clean cars left on the track.
Yeah, doing an awesome job keeping all 4 fenders, or all the fenders, all 4 sides of that car nice and clean. But you can see Chris Spear getting bigger and bigger in his rearview mirror. But now he's got, Chris Spear's got Alonzo King to worry about. He's got fresher tires. That car's relatively clean. Only been involved in a couple of minor incidents here tonight. The black and green number 47 takes it on down low, and he's going to go up and try and get around Charles Stevens there as well. But that's one of the things you're seeing. Some of these leaders, 91 laps in on the same tires. The 20 car is going to give up that lead lap position. 20 car is going to come down pit road, get service, as is the double odds car of Tim Wortman Jr. He's going to come down and get some fresh tires. That may very well be the move of the race if Chris Spear, Preston Purrier, Kenny Capola, the top 3 car, if they don't come down and pit road here shortly to get tires, I really think that 00 car is going to be able to make up a lot of time with fresh tires.
You're forcing the hand of the leaders here, Paul. You got to do what they don't do. So now we see the 7. The 7 is coming into pit. He saw the rest of the cars that were on the lead lap that came in. So the 7 is now coming in. He has to, if he liked it or not. If you stay out too long on those old tires, those fresh tires are going to make up that time. So good call here by the 7 who comes down pit road now, Chris Spear. First time we're seeing him down pit road all race. So, and I believe the 13 Purrier, though, is staying out on the racetrack. So if you are the 13, you are on the opposite side of it all. If you don't think you have what it takes to beat him, why not stay out, push it all the way, and now you've sealed your fate. You're going to do whatever you can to hopefully stay out here. But, hey, it looks like I might be incorrect. Preston looks like he's not going to go with that strategy. He wanted a couple extra laps out there. He comes down pit road. He's going to relinquish the lead. But that's going to give him a couple laps stronger and fresher tires than the 7. Will that make much of a difference? I don't think a couple laps will. I think at that point, if you know you don't have anything for the 7, you stay out until you have to come in.
Oh, Kenny Capola!
Get that,
Kenny Capola hit the barrels. He didn't make it in. He tried to pit this time by. Didn't get that car turned left. He smacked into those water barrels at the entry of pit road. That car is toast, Wes.
Kaboom! Where is the kaboom? There it is. Right into the barrels. He has no front end left, Mr. Strickland. And the 43 now almost self-spins coming across the line. That car is all over the place. Ooh. And this is where if I'm pressing, I wish I stayed out because you almost feel like that caution is coming. But we don't know where he was on fuel. But as that 13 machine now works his way back out onto the track, we see the 7 coming up and around him right there. Now that lead is much bigger than what it was when they first pitted. So that advantage to Chris Spear.
Tough break for the number 3 at Kenny Capola. He's going to be on pit road for a very long time, getting that car taken care of. Looking at
it. Big rack! Oh, the 22 machine! My God! The caution is out. Sorry to cut you off there, Paul. Oh, man! The 22 of Colin Zemer was heading down pit road. He cut down the track. As he was doing so, a car was low of the 96, collects some of the 96, eats the barriers, just like we saw the 3 of Joshua Nolan. However, the 96 got help doing it. That car is destroyed, Paul. My God.
Kong Beer Bong instant replay. There's the initial contact, big contact with the 96. He gets down on the inside, and there you see it, smoke from the 22, smoke from the 96. I don't understand how those water barrels are still standing, Wes.
Paul, I want those barrels to hold my beer because they're completely indestructible. If the world comes to an end, my beer goes in those barrels because I know it's going to make it through it.
Oh, 100%. Man, we're gonna have to get in touch with the guys over at Kong Beer Bong to see if we can maybe get those trash barrels and throw a hole in the bottom of them and put a funnel on it so we can drink our beer right out of them. And if you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, check these guys out. Kong.2drunk.net. Make the good times better and just be the life of the party. I've brought these things out to the racetrack. I've brought them out wheeling with my boys on the weekends. It makes a lot of beer go down very, very quickly. And obviously, everybody here at AIM-TV always reminds you to drink responsibly. But these things make beer disappear very, very quickly. Absolutely.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Paul. Chris Spear has fell out of the server. The driver that has led every single lap tonight has fell out of the racing server. And for those who aren't familiar with that, he's having some kind of technical issues where he is no longer in this race as of now. He can come back in, but he will not be able to hold his spot. As we see, he's getting back into the server now. He will not be able to hold his spot. He's going to be multiple laps down, Paul. Wow, what a turn of events for Chris Spear.
That is tough. That is a one of the things with iRacing that unfortunately we still deal with. Everybody that you're seeing here on your screen, you got to wonder, oh, this is just a video game. Kind of, sort of, yes, but not really. Every single one of these cars, except for the pace car, is actually being driven by somebody with a steering wheel and pedals hooked up to their computer desk, and they're all racing together. And you can do the very same thing by checking out iRacing.com. They've got the whole promo going on, $20.22 for the year 2022. Get you the entire year of iRacing, and it comes with a bunch of tracks and cars to check it out with. But that is a tough break for Chris Spear. Not in the championship hunt, unfortunately, at this point. Didn't make it into the final 8, but still very, very strong here at Bristol. Led almost 100 laps, 99 laps, I believe, is the official count. And to fall out of the race like that is very, very tough. That's going to give us 8 cars on the lead lap, potentially 9. It looks like the 8800 Motorsports entry of Ed Boyles Jr., who just missed the round of 8, barely by the skin on his chin last week. Leave that position to Alonzo King in the 47 car. But nope, just kidding. It's going to be 8 cars on the lead lap here as the lights are off. And speaking of Hendrick Motorsports, got to give a shout out to the Boyles family, the Palmer family. Wade Palmer the fifth, not in this race tonight. Finally brought home, welcomed in the new baby Palmer. Baby's healthy, mommy's healthy, and everybody is home A-OK. So congratulations to you guys. Sucks to not see you in the track. We know you're watching at home. Green flag is in the air. New leader Tim Wortman Jr. trying to hold off that 18 M&M's car, as well as Preston Perrier. They're side by side for second.
Paul, that pit strategy actually helped out with Wortman Jr. It got him out in front of the 13 after it all cycled through. That caution came at a great time for him now. So we see that Wortman Jr., after this huge turn of events, is your leader. And they say, Paul, you run all the laps for a reason. You never can give away the trophy until the final lap is ran, as we saw the one gentleman that dominated the entire race having technical issues and giving up any chance of winning this race with very few laps to go. Even though there is, about 40 to go, that's very few here at Bristol. Those take off pretty quickly. He would need a pretty big break. As looking at Spear, it's actually he's 3 laps down, so he has the odds against him. Tough break for that number 7 machine, but. And it's gut check time now, Paul. A little less give and take. It's time to go. And with that being said, we only have 8 cars on the lead lap. So if you're one of those 8 cars, you're not trying to wait around. You're going after that double yacht of Tim Wortman Jr.
Double aught, not double yacht. Double aught. Learn the boomer.
Getting there, buddy.
Getting there. Tim Wortman Jr. holding on to the lead right now. Gaggle of cars. Oh! Alonzo King down low. Collects it back up. We stay green, but it's a good thing there's only a handful of cars on the lead lap. You can see he comes up almost in front of Michael Miller. 48 car back on the lead lap after.
Caution, Paul. Caution is out.
Tim Ingram looks like he's involved. A 33.5 G car.
Yes, the 96 of Tim Ingram gets together with the 96. The 96 bounces off the wall of Josh Nolan. That's a second incident in a row Josh Nolan was involved in. He came off a turn 2 and just slapped it off the outside wall, and the 33 was there, Paul, with nowhere to go. That was a rough one as you bring us our replay.
How about another Kong Beer Bong instant replay? And Wes called it just like it was. 96 bounced off the wall, collected the 33. 33 was able to keep going. Tim Ingram a couple of laps down, having a rough go of it here tonight. And the 96 car of Josh Nolan, he's going to reset down to pit road. Front end of that car's gone. He's starting to look like one of the modifieds we raced at Stafford Motor Speedway up here in Connecticut.
So this is typically how it happens here, Paul. As the laps get down to business, as the laps start winding down, this is what happens. Cautions start to breed cautions. The patients start to wear weary, and we run into a lot of issues. So I think that's what we're seeing here. But even though that's just a little bit of an issue, I'm sure if this was early in the race, 33 may have let the 96 wreck on his own. But he's like, you know what? Nope. We're to do our best to get into this. So, man, it really stinks. And now that we look at the rest of the field here, Paul, if you want to take a look, let's see what cars don't have damage, if that is possible. And I'll help you go through the field here, see if we can actually spot anybody, even though it's crazy. That 88 machine looks pretty good. Our leader, the double aught, it looks pretty good. 13 does not. The 18 of Jimmy Absher, if he has anything, it's nothing too crazy. Same thing with Charles Stevens. So we do have some clean and serene cars out here, but these guys are falling to the wayside. But however, this is what Chris Spear wants to see. He wants to see these cautions come out. Somehow he has to get his way 3 laps back, a lap 108 of 150, and I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, tough break for Spear. He's got he probably got the cleanest car out there. He's led so many laps here at Bristol, the first 100 laps or so, and to have a connection issue ruin your night, really, really tough. It's going to be tough to get him back onto the lead lap here, but the only saving grace is we had a short field to start with tonight, and he was just able to put on such a blistering pace in the first 100 laps here at Bristol. We've only got 8 cars on the lead lap. Check that, 10 cars on the lead lap, and Chris Spear running in 11th. So still a halfway decent finish for the number 7 team, but it's still going to be tough. That's tough to swallow when you're running up front for so long.
It is, and I've been in the position before. I'll never forget a Verdane season where I'm running for the championship, and we're racing at, I think it was Michigan, a couple seasons ago. And as we were coming around to take the green to start the race, my whole computer went kaput. I'll never forget that. I blamed that along with many other things why I have like 11 second place finishes and points. Anyways, but yeah, you can't do anything about the technical issues. Unfortunately, it's something you just take on the chin. It's kind of like, if you have a motor issue, battery issues in your race car, it's something that's out of your control. You can't control it, and this is same boat here as we're about to see the pace car head down pit road. Does Perrier have anything for Wortman Jr. as the pace car heads down pit road? The 00 fires off of Wortman Jr. We are back green flag racing here at Bristol as we head into 1 and 2. Hard wreck, 18 hard. Jimmy Apsher hard into the inside wall, Paul. Looks like he spun the tires on the start. He had it load up. The 20 sends him around. I believe that may be a teammate as well. That car was spotless until about a few moments ago. The 18 of Jimmy Apsher destroyed here at Bristol.
Melted in his mouth, not in his hands. Tough break for the 18 car. We'll see it right on the restart. And we'll back it up, give it a Kong Beer Bong instant replay. There you can see, spins the tires, goes up in front of his teammate. Charles Stevens nowhere to go, gives him a bump in the back end, shoots him on down to the inside pit wall. That is a tough hit for the front end of that M&M's Toyota Camry. I don't know. I would say he's probably going to try and limp that thing around and hold on to a top 10. Lots and lots of damage done to the front end of that number 18 car.
Paul, that has now eliminated 2 of the cars that we had on our list that had no damage. So that list already is getting smaller and smaller by the lap as the 20 has a little bit of front end crunched in. He opts not to go down pit road as the 18 says, you know what, I think I need to take it down, as he does. Probably better than he does. He might even have a meatball, to be honest with you. If you're not familiar with that, the meatball flag it's called. When you have too much damage, you need to have required damage repaired before making another lap on the track. So. But now it looks like he has to head down pit road in that 20 machine as Charles Stevens will come all the way down the long pit road here. Just tough break, especially when your teammate spins his tires in front of you. You're both having a solid run. This happens, again, out of his hands as well. So cautions breeding cautions, restarting on old tires. It's Bristol, baby.
That is the name of the game here tonight. Tomorrow night, little bit different strategy for the Multi-League Cup Series. Going to COTA, the Circuits of the Americas for their...
We're going to COTA?
Going to COTA down there in Texas. And we're going to have... Going to be myself and Mike James on the Rock. Mike James from up in Eastbound Park going to be calling the Multi-League Cup Series tomorrow night. Got to give him a shout out. He's out there watching in a Facebook land. And, well, you heard the man. He said tip the announcer. Tip.Verdane.net. Shoot us a couple of bucks. We always appreciate it. Calling some action here for the Fatheads Cup Series at Bristol. It has been an ordeal here tonight. Lots of wrecked race cars, lots of damaged race cars. But you can see the cream rises to the top. There you can see 4 or 5 of the cars running up towards the front are running those green spoilers, those green windshield banners. They're in the chase for the playoffs. Or they're in the playoffs. They want to get into this championship race. They're trying to win themselves in. You don't want to rely on points. You've only got 3 races to get into the top 4. We're taking 4 cars of 8. If you win, you're in. You automatically advance, no questions asked, and you don't want to have to rely on points. So we're seeing a lot of these guys give it their all. Tim Wortman Jr. currently sitting out front. He's got the catbird seat in that 00 car. If he wins the first race of this round, he can use the next 2 races as kind of a test session. As the pace cars are, the lights are off on the iRacing Mustang pace car. Starting to line them up 2 by 2. Here we go. Going racing one more time.
Shout out to Josh Battles there. He's quietly in the top 5 in that 43 machine. Haven't said his name too many times, which is a good thing for this race, the way it's been going. Great run by him. Paul, you mentioned the playoff drivers are up here, and they're playoff drivers for a reason. They always find their way to the front. David Douthwaite, we have not said his name for any negative reasons this race. He has a fairly clean race car. He's finding himself in the top 3, as well as somehow Alonzo King, who's been everywhere tonight, is in the top 5 as well, as we are back green flag racing here. Taking on a lap 20 here at Bristol Motor Speedway, as you see our leader, Wortman Jr., able to pull off with the lead. The 47, hard run off of turn 2. He looks on the outside of Douthwaite. Can he make it stick coming off of turn 4? He can. 47 to the 3rd position.
Top 4 cars are in the championship battle. There you can see the 48 trying to make that high side work around the 43 of Josh Battles. Not quite going to make it work. This time he's there. You can see side by side right behind David Douthwaite, but the 43 has a little bit better run. Joshua Battles holding on to that bottom side.
The 33 further back has self-spun on the track, and caution is out. Tim Ingram. We've said his name too many times for his liking, I'm sure, tonight. He came off a turn 4 and just lost it. I think that his tire wear has gotten the worst of him, bangs it off the inside wall. Paul, I think Tim will be glad when this thing's over.
Yeah, some of the drivers here tonight having a great run. Some drivers not so much, and Tim Ingram struggling with the handling of that race car. Going to focus in the 43 or the 33. Check that 5G car. You can see loses it off of turn number 4, smacks the inside pit wall, locks up the brakes, and does a great job staying out of the racing group. Grabs a gear and gets on going. So, good news for him. Bad news. He's still 16th. Couple of laps down here at this point. Getting close to the end, so the end is near here for some of these drivers in the back of the pack, kind of struggling with the handling of these cars, but Tim Wortman Jr. still up front. Preston Imperial, Alonzo King, David Douthwaite, and Joshua Battles, the top 5. Michael Miller, Ed Boyles Jr., and Charles Stevens in the number 20 car, the current lead lap cars. Jimmy Absher and Ken Allert rounding out the top 10, and Chris Spear, who led the first 100 laps, dropped connection. He is currently running in 11th, and there you saw Jimmy Absher going around on the outside. He's going to be the free pass car of this caution.
All right, Paul. So there is a there's a trend here, and the trend is once you're out front, you can't be passed. And we've yet to see the leader of the race get passed under green flag conditions. That's working in the favor of Tim Wortman. Now, of course, Preston Imperial, if he has anything to say about that, he's going to change that trend, but Tim Wortman has done a wonderful job all race of keeping that nose clean, literally and figuratively, Paul. There is absolutely zero damage from what we can see on that 00 car, which, again, it's Bristol. That may not mean too much, but that 13's rear end is crunched in. That could have caused a little bit of handling issues. When you get up into these corners, this is that outside lane track, as you guys see. You can get a little bit of loose, and it can really mess up that entry or that exit to the corner. So Tim Wortman sitting in the catbird seat. We'll see if Purier has anything for him. As again, shout out to the drivers. We haven't had to say their names much because the only names we've been saying are the ones that have been wrecking. And that, of course, the 47 Alonzo King. Shout out to him. Hard Charger Award. Paul, you've mentioned him a couple times. I have as well. Been all over this racetrack, struggling with the handling, and still with a podium position.
Yeah, holding on to a top 3 position right now, and he's got that green spoiler in the back of the car, the green windshield banner, so he is in, and you can see the top 4 on your screen. The top 4 running cars still in this championship hunt. And let's see if we can talk to the leader real quick. Getting ready to go green, Tim Wortman Jr., that 008ballwhiskey.com car. What do you got, man?
Man, we got a hot one right now. We just got to keep this track position.
Absolutely, doing a great job. Inherited the lead there about lap 100, held on to it through all these restarts. Pretty good. We looking to go green at the end of the through the rest of the race, or what do we got?
It'd be nice. These restarts make me a little nervous, so yeah, let's get green and have an exciting finish. Do some racing.
100%. Speaking of green, get back to work. You got to get back in the car.
Thanks, bud.
Tim Wortman Jr., 00 car, leading this race since lap 100 when Chris Spear, the number 7 car, dropped out of the race due to connection issues. He has since rejoined, dropped 10 positions to that 11th spot. But man, oh man, we got a battle up front that is going to heat up when that pace car dips on down to the safety of inside the racetrack. And the infield is the word I was trying to go for. Side by side, the 00 and the 13 green flag is in the air. 23 laps to go. It's Bristol, baby. Who's going to come home with the checkered flag?
Wortman again with the whole shot, but look at the 47 of King. He's trying to battle on the bottom here. We haven't been able to really see too many guys make that bottom work, and almost shuts the door, does Alonzo King. However, the 13's able to make it stick. King, though, trying to get that bottom hooked up. Can he clear him this time? Not quite. Purier putting that 13 machine at his right rear. He's able to clear him this time, but can he shut the door? He can. P2, Alonzo King. He sets his sights on Wortman Jr., the leader.
Shuts the door on P3, opens the window to P1. He's the driver that barely made it in by the hair on his chinny chin chin last week as he barely edged in to the top 8, beating Ed Boyles Jr. by position to get himself into the round of 8. And you can see right now, he's going to show that he doesn't want to be in the 8th position. He wants to be up front. He wants to win this race. He wants to get to Texas. As you can see, the 13 hard charging down on the inside. Thinks better of it, going to tuck back in the tire tracks. 19 laps to go here at Bristol, baby.
You know, we saw it with Chase Elliott in NASCAR last year. He barely made it in, and he went on to win the championship. King has the same idea here. However, so does the 13 of Purier. He wants this second position. He wants to go for the lead. As they battle again side by side, trying to get that bottom line to work, is Purier in that 13. So far, we've only seen King be able to do it. As you get such a run off of these corners, it's hard to complete that pass. You need the guy on the top end basically to make a mistake in order to make it happen. But they're still battling hard, trying to get it to work. Not able to do so. Further back, the 43 bounces off the wall quite a bit, keeps it up there. We stay green. The battle for second rages on.
Alonzo King still able to hold on. He's got the advantage on the high side. He's got to be careful, though. He's getting closer and closer to that outside wall, that outside groove. We can see here from this shot, lots of rubber build up from the tires, from practice, from qualifying, and 100 and so many laps here that we've run under race conditions. You can see the 13 right in the tire tracks, trying to dip down low, trying to find where the 46 car is weaker. There you can see, gives him just a little bit of a shot. He's going to try and peek on the inside, coming out of turn 4. Got a bumper on him. I don't think he's got enough to get around him here in turn 1.
This might turn into old Bristol tactics here, Paul. A little bit of a bump and run as the 13. Caution is out. We have a caution out, Paul, and it looks like the 43 kind of saw that brewing there, Paul, a few laps ago. He was bouncing off the wall. Looks like that 43 at Joshua Battles bounced off the wall one more time, coming out of 4. Gets collected by the 48 machine. Battles goes around, quick little 360 off the wall. Met that Michael Miller front end, and we have one more yellow flag.
Handling has been the name of the game here as we pull up the Kong Beer Bong instant replay. And there you can see the contact between the 43 and the 48. Sends the 43 through a quick little 360 like you said. Doesn't even look like he changed the gear. He grabs it and keeps on going. So stays on the lead lap. That's good news for him. And he's going to hold on to the 9th position. Might be a good opportunity to maybe come down pit road, get 4 fresh tires, which I would say that might be the move to make if you're in the bottom half of the top 10 here. That'd be a good way to get around some of these front guys.
Yeah, and Tim Wortman again. You just heard from a little bit ago. He said this is what makes him nervous. But if we got a second here, Paul, I think we're gonna grab somebody real quick. If we can grab Mr. Alonzo King down here, let's see if we can get a quick word with him. Alonzo, you got a copy?
Hey man, what's going on?
Alonzo, you made it happen on the bottom side. We haven't seen that often today. However, you were able to make it happen on the 13. Now you're trying to break the trend on Wortman Jr. We've yet to see anybody make a pass on the leader during green flag conditions. Can you break that trend?
I tell you what, we're going to drive the heck out of it to find out.
Man, and you've been all over this track, from the back, from the front. You've been from the top to the bottom, still finding your way here, battling for the lead. What's got you here so far, man?
I actually did a 2-tire stop during that green flag stop, and that actually gained me a bunch of time. And I just tightened the car up really, I tightened it up a bunch for that green flag 2-tire stop. Once I got the 4 tires after that caution came out, I loosened it back up, and it seemed like this thing came to life.
Well, Mr. King, sometimes it comes down to strategy. It looks like strategy is going to work in your favor. I believe we're going to be going green here soon, so I'm going to put you back up in your room. Man, good luck, and let's see if you can make this happen, buddy.
All right, I appreciate it, guys. Great job to you.
All right, and that was the driver of the 47, Alonzo King, who has been at center of focus quite a few times during this race, and now he's center focus trying to steal that lead from Tim Wortman Jr.
9 cars on the lead lap. Check that. Going to be 10 cars. Ken Eller getting the wave by in that number 95 Toyota. And lights are off in the iRacing Mustang. iRacing, nope, they're back on. Going to get things sorted out here. So 10 laps to go, 9 laps to go. Going to take the green flag with 8 laps to go here. Wes, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who are you picking?
Wortman. I mean, no one's been able to pass the leader. I'm putting the house on Wortman here unless he really has a big mistake. I think that's going to be a smart call to go here. And I got to give a shout out here to that 18 machine. We saw him get just a bad set of circumstances. Still able to hold a top 10 is Jimmy Asher. Good job by him there. But I got to go with Wortman here. As much as I want to see the 47 Alonzo King make this interesting, the leader has put on a stink show so far, whoever's been out front. So we're about to see the pace car head down pit road here and see if the 47 can break that trend as we see come that creeping 47, trying to get his nose out there, trying to get a little bit of advantage, and we are going green, and it did not work. Wortman Jr. with the whole shot, heading down into 1 and 2. That actually may have backfired on the 47, as now he's going to be side by side with Purrier. Purrier trying to get the run off the corner as he's able to do so, but right to the bumper though, Paul, of the 00 coming out of turn 2 or 4.
These guys absolutely putting on a show. The battle is for second. Preston Purrier all over the back bumper. We got some Preston Purrier fans out there in the Facebook world. He's all over the back bumper of the second place 47 car of Alonzo King, and that's not what Alonzo wants to see. He wants to be able to focus out his windshield, try and close in on the leader, but the leader's driving away. They're side by side for 2. They touch doors. 13 car, Preston Purrier, he's going to get the spot. He's going to bring Charles Stevens with 20. Contact the 47 up on the wall, and he spins.
Oh, carnage!
Right in front of the caution flag. Oh, the 18 and the 19. The teammate. Oh, man.
God.
We're still wrecking.
Oh, man. Holy New Jack. It is just carnage in here. My God, what a death match. You name the car behind second place, they were just involved in something. Somebody get me a napkin. I'm spitting everywhere right now. Paul, where did that come from? What just happened?
Oh, the 47 car running side by side, and we're going to cue it up here. We're going to take a look. We're going to take a look from the Kong Beer Bong blimp on the Kong Beer Bong instant replay. And man, oh man, these guys, they know there's less than 10 laps to go, closing in on 5 laps to go. And this is what we see from the blimp. The battle, the side by side battle from the 13 to 47 for second. There's the contact. You see it there. The 47 goes up high, makes contact with the 20. He gets shunted up into the outside wall. The 23 and the 18 try to react. The 47 goes around. 19 is involved. Ed Boyles Jr., where did he come from? He's going to go all the way up to 5th place. There's the 3 car. Coppola's involved. Chris Spear, he skates on through. The 15,
43.
When did he come off of pit road?
43, Paul. Almost made it through all of that, and then he barely gets nicked at the end, however, with minimal damage. Woo! If I'm the admins here, like how do you control this? Who gets what positions, man? I believe Paul is going to get us a quick look at the poor 43 machine as he has done one heck of a job throughout this race, trying to keep it clean, and just oh man, give us one more look.
I got to tell you what, so we're going to take a look from the onboard of the 43 of Joshua Battles here. This is one of those things where the admins are just going to be like, you know what, we're going to let iRacing sort it out. There you can see great heads-up driving. Look at that, all the way through. Ah, there's the back bumper of the 47 of Alonzo King coming back down the track. That is a tough break for Battles, but definitely some great heads-up driving. He's up 8 spots on the night, so definitely a good run. He's running in 4th or 8th right now, and we've seen anything and everything happen here at Bristol, here for the It's Bristol Baby 150. Fatheads Cup Series, not disappointing with the action, putting on a phenomenal show here tonight. And we're going to have a green-white checkered, and it may not even be the first one. It might not be the first one that calls the race. It might be the second one. These guys have 2 attempts at a green-white checkered here, Wes.
Again, we're trying to go through the field here. I've been doing this all race. Who has damage and who doesn't? Officially, one car does not have damage. That now is our leader. Boy, oh boy, that's what this is all about here, Paul. It's completely unpredictable. Alonzo King all wadded up now from 2nd to 7th after it was all said and done. Joshua Battle's a little beat up as well. Now Kempurier, he's been playing second fiddle all race long, either if it was to Chris Spear, to Tim Wortman Jr., whoever it may be, he's been playing second fiddle. I think he's sick of being bridesmaid here. I'd like to see if he's willing to give it a Hail Mary shot and see what he's able to do. I know he's a clean driver. I know he's not going to do anything that might possibly take out Tim Wortman Jr., but it's Bristol, baby.
Lights are off in the iRacing Mustang pace car. The timing tower has reset itself. An official green, white, checkered for the FATHEADZ Bristol, baby. Now 153 extra distance here for the first race of the round of 8. And man, oh man, has it been an exciting one, and the excitement has not ceased yet. That iRacing Mustang pace car, he's going to dip on down low. He's going to make that hard left-hand turn down to the safety of the infield of this racetrack. Going to let these Goliaths go at it for the race win here at Bristol. There's the whole shot for Tim Wortman Jr. He grabs a gear, gets on going. The 20 spins the tires in front of Ed Boyles Jr. We are racing at Bristol. 2 laps to go.
Might actually have a battle for the lead here at Pure. Oh, they're wrecking behind them. The 47 and the 20 get together. Caution is out, wrecking behind the leaders. Oh, man, again, our buddy Alonzo King, who we just talked to a few laps ago. And the 7 of Chris Spear is involved. The 15 is wrecked down pit road. Is there a blue moon or what is happening? The 18 is now wrecked. The 43 is wrecked. The 18 has said, you know what, I'm done. He's taking a pit road. How did Chris Spear get wrecked in all of this? He now has heavy damage. It looks like as a 47 wreck, the 43, the 15 gets wrecked in it. 15 goes backwards down into pit road. Somehow the 18 still gets involved into it. Paul, we're going to have to get multiple looks of this. This is, what's the word I could say that's where it's PG? A crap show is what this turned into be.
Hiya Zeus Marimba. Going to take a look at the 10th caution here on the Kong Beer Bong instant replay. Got a look from the Kong blimp. And here we go. There's the restart. You see the 20 spins the tires, gets a little bit of contact with the 88 Ed Boyles Jr. Absher in the 18 tries to dip on down low. Little bit of contact. They think better of it. Everything's good to go from here. They're wrecking up in front of them. The 20 and the 47 of Alonzo King. Alonzo King had made his way all the way up to the second position, getting involved in an earlier wreck. And we're going to switch cameras here to the blimp rather than the chopper because that didn't quite work out. You see, the 47 bounces off the wall a little bit, comes down into the 20. And there you see, they blocked the racing groove. Everybody's involved. Colin Zemer, give a shout out to him, the 22 car. Gets on down to the apron. He's going to go through. It looks like he might have got tagged because he's down on pit lane. But, man, that is a tough break for Alonzo King. There you can see the 7 of Chris Spear. He's involved as well. They're all down on pit road. The 18 of Jimmy Absher, he's on down pit road as well. It's looking like there's 4 cars that stayed out on this this pit stop. We're going to back it up one more time and see if we can.
And Paul, I believe that the race is official. The race is official.
The race is official at this point. So there you see it.
Yeah.
Tim Wortman Jr. going to come home with the victory. And you can see he's burning them down, finishing 1-2 with his teammate Preston Perrier. And there's the 48 car of Michael Miller for some reason. Oh, he finished 3rd, so he's going to do a burnout too. Michael Miller out of nowhere, up 10 spots from his qualifying spot. How about that?
We said his name maybe once or twice in this 150-lap race. He did a heck of a job staying out of any kind of trouble. He got in a little bit, of course, but I think everybody did except the 00 there, Paul. And we finished this race with every single car with damage except the leader. Shout out to the 15 too, Paul. I'm not sure if you saw that by Ryan Kling going backwards down pit road and parking it. That's the way you send it off here at Bristol.
Yeah, you can see Tim Wortman doing a quick little burnout and does a quick Polish victory lap. He's going to come back and burn the rest of the tires down, but we're taking a look at the finishing order on your screen right now for the FATHEADZ Bristol Baby 150. Here for the Fatheads Cup Series, Tim Wortman Jr. coming home with the win, your regular series champion. He is in. He will be racing for a championship in 3 weeks' time at Texas Motor Speedway. Going to be one of the 4 drivers, as you can see. Going to have to swap that motor out before COTA next week. He blew it up doing burnouts. Preston Perrier with another strong finish in 2nd. Michael Miller out of nowhere finishing P3. Charles Stevens, great run for him. And the number 20, he's going to come home 4th. Ed Boyles Jr., 5th. David Douthwaite, Joshua Battles, Ken Eller. Alonzo King dipping all the way back down to 9th. Jimmy Apsher, tough run for him, back in 10th. Chris Spear, the Heartbreaker, 3 laps down in 11th after leading the first 100 laps. Matt Mack and Colin Zemer, Kenny Capola, Tim Ingram, Trevor Apsher finishing early tonight. Joshua Nolan and Ryan Kling rounding out the top 18 and taking a peek at the final couple of drivers here. Wade Palmer, the 4th, finishing 19th. Caleb Levener, 20th. 21 going to Tommy Kelly. So a crazy race here at Bristol. We're going to catch up with the top 3 here in the post-race show. And man, oh man, Wes, it looks like you've already caught up with our winner here, Tim Wortman Jr.
Tim, you made sure that the streak continued throughout the race of the leader not being able to get past. You were the only car on this track with no damage by the time we took the checkered flag. Tim, how did you make this happen? Congratulations.
Well, I had some great teamwork this week. We had a great baseline setup, and we each kind of worked and did our own thing. We all weren't running the same stuff this week, and I made some of my own adjustments and played with some things I've been learning, and boy, the car just turned great off of the middle of the corner, and I think that's really what I needed here tonight.
Tim, early in the race, middle of the race, we got a long green flag run in. We get some green flag pit stops. It looks like Chris Spear has this thing basically in the bag, and then all of a sudden, not only does the caution come out, but he has technical issues, and it falls out of the server. What was going through your mind at that point?
I hate that for Chris. Chris is such a great team guy and a great asset to our league. He does so much for our graphics and Facebook and social networking. It was great to be up there racing with him. I'd like to have seen him up there around till the end.
You guys definitely gave us something to get hooping and hollering about here in the booth, man. You're watching this carnage happen behind you. You're having to restart on these old tires. We see quite a few drivers spin the tires and cause havoc on these restarts. How were you able to manage the old tires on these restarts each and every time?
Just not slam the gas down, just ease into it, and just a good steady flow down to the floor. And just watch your shift points. But yeah, we definitely had a lot of problems with that in practice and some other races this week where it wasn't just one guy. There's 3 or 4 guys that turned it sideways on the start.
Yeah, it was definitely a battle tonight, a battle that you were able to conquer. Now, Tim, we know in real life it takes people to get it done. Here in the virtual world, it takes help to get it done as well. Who would you like to give some shout-outs to?
It's been a while since I've been on the broadcast. My streak ended, so I felt bad. I felt like maybe you guys thought I didn't want to talk to you no more, but especially since our team brought on J&R Aquatics out of Michigan as a team sponsor, I felt bad I haven't made it to the podium to be able to shout them out, but man, I can't thank FATHEADZ enough for making this possible and getting the broadcast. Get to do this every week with you guys. Butt Kicker, Simnut, Harpoon Designs, budget sim boxes. I think I got them all in there, but most of all, thanks to the guys at 8 Ball Whiskey and Ryan Daly for putting a great design on the car. It sure is a sharp looking ride.
Sharp-looking ride. It looks even better when it's sitting in victory lane. Congratulations again, Tim Wortman Jr. You are tonight's winner.
Thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and I believe that Paul has waddled his way down to second place, Preston Superior.
Why do I have to waddle? Why do I? Preston Superior.
We know you're not walking a straight line.
Shut up, Wes. Preston Superior, P2 driver. Man, oh man, you started out tonight big time loose. You got that thing working to where you needed it to, and you came home with a second place finish. And man, just talk to us about your race.
Oh man, can you hold that microphone straight, man? You wobbled over here, now you're wobbling the microphone.
Oh, for crying out loud! Everybody wants to pick on the fat guy. Here we go.
Yeah, it's all right. No, it was my setup. I worked on it. I didn't get it quite right. It was loose for about the first 5 laps of every run, but after that, it was just on rails. I I had a great race. My teammates, we were 1 through 4. We were about to have filled a lap down before that yell came out. That was just an incredible run. I was just content to stay behind Chris for that run. I was looking forward to see how it all played out, but unfortunately, Chris had some issues. Kenny had some issues pitting in. Real proud of Tim for winning. I was hoping that green white checker was going to go all the way. I was on his inside. I thought I might have it, but just a fantastic race. This is my favorite track. I'm a Rusty Walls fan, so I've seen him win here numerous times.
Yeah, and almost a war of attrition here at Bristol. A lot of damaged race cars getting hauled up and put on the hauler, but and you had a little bit of damage yourself there on the 13 car as well. But it looks like everything is good to go. You got a good points day here heading into Kentucky next week. We're going from a short track to what is Kentucky, a mile and a half? What do we got for the big track next week?
Hopefully a win, man. Hopefully a win. I don't know. I've actually never driven on Kentucky, so it's going to be a new experience for me. But I know my teammates like tracks like that, so I'm sure they'll give me some pointers, and we'll be competitive. We're going to come out swinging again like we did tonight. Just trying to log myself into that Final Four.
And a good way to start that off is a second-place finish here at Bristol, especially with a lot of the championship contenders having some issues. So definitely a good run here at Bristol. Moving on to Kentucky next week, trying to race your way, trying to win your way into Texas. And, well, we know you don't do it alone. We got Snar on the hood. We got Geico on the quarter panels. Who else makes it happen for that number 13 team?
Well, as I think Tim said it, but we have J&R Aquatics. They deal in a lot of exotic fish out of Ypsilanti, Michigan. I mean, for the league, we have Simna, Butt Kicker, Budget Sim Boxes, Harpoon Design, and definitely FATHEADZ. Without FATHEADZ, this league wouldn't be where it is right now. They make some awesome sunglasses. I'd love to get a hold of them. But I'll use that Showtime promo code to get 40% off. And also, I need to negotiate something with you. If I win the title, can I get one of them Kong beer bongs?
I think we can make that happen.
All right, hell yeah. I also want to thank all my family and friends who tune in every week to watch me. It's real exciting to have that pressure on me and entertainment at the same time.
Absolutely, and lots of Purier fans out there in the Facebook and YouTube world. Great to see you finish up front. Great to talk to you again here on the Podium Post Race Show, and we'll see if we talk to you next week here at the next race.
All right, thank you, Paul.
That's your second place finisher, Preston Purier, having a great points run. He's doing pretty good in this round of 8 here so far. We're going to kick it down up pit road just a little bit further to the 48. Where did he come from, Michael Miller?
Hey, Mike Miller, you got a copy for us?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Man, you had cars bouncing off your front bumper, your rear bumper, off the side of you. You have a crunched up machine, and yet somehow you're able to pull off a top 3. Walk us through your battle of this trials and triumph that's got you here.
Yeah, it's with Chris dropping out and then Kenny having issues. Hated for Chris. He's a good guy. We got to capitalize on all your. And they're lucky, got to capitalize on them, so take advantage of it. I was able to get the car fixed out of a couple of cautions there. Kept pitting to get fresh tires and try to get back up to the front.
There was a point in this race where the entire field almost beyond the top 5 was down a lap. Chris Spear was picking them up, putting them down. Were you worried at that point you were going to get trapped down a lap and then it was going to be it?
Oh, I did get trapped down a lap. He passed me, and then I kept dropping, car got crazy tight. I said, you know what, I'm going to pit. So I ended up pitting, lost a few more laps, fresher tires, dominated, got around them, got my 1 lap back, and then all the cautions came out, and then I ended up 3rd.
Sometimes it's good to be just as lucky as you are good, and I feel like tonight is one of those nights where the cards played into your hand to get this podium finish. Now, we saw throughout the last 2 cautions there just complete havoc. Walk us through how you were able to make the best of that.
Yeah, the 43 bounced off the wall, took off my right front, and then I was able to miss the late caution there. I was just survival of the fittest, close my eyes and hoping it for the best.
Sometimes that's what you got to do here at Bristol. Just close your eyes, hit the loud pedal, and hope you make it through on the other end.
Exactly.
Now, Mike, we know you got a little bit of help here as well that helps support you. Who would you like to give thanks to and shout out to?
family and friends for letting me do this, and Sims, Butt Kicker, Budget Sim Boxes, Harpoon Design, Fatheads definitely for coming on and sponsoring this whole league and making us where we are. And you guys for putting on this awesome broadcast that you guys do week in, week out.
Mike, you guys put on some great racing for us week in and week out. My voice is almost gone from calling that action. Awesome show, great entertainment, and way to fight it out, man. These races of attrition, really, they feel good. Even if you don't get the win, at the end of the day, when you're able to get a top 3 and sit in the booth with us, you feel like you accomplished something, especially with the carnage you guys went through. So congratulations on this top 3.
Thank you, sir. It definitely was. That's why you don't give up early in the race.
You run them all. That's why we run them all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was your 3rd place finisher, Mike Miller.
Man, oh man, the excitement here that the Fatheads Cup Series brings to the racetrack each and every Wednesday night here on Verdane TV. It's just they cannot top themselves. And a great race here at Bristol. 10 cautions on the night, but action-packed all the way throughout the night. And man, it's great to see that we got one heck of a championship battle going on here, Wes. And I know you've seen these guys before. It's been a couple of weeks since you've been able to jump in here, but man, final thoughts on the night. Apparently, Wes's microphone is broken.
Yep. Oh, yep. Now I got you.
There we go.
Yeah. What would you say there again? I'm sorry about that. It went mute.
Final thoughts for the night.
Man, that was fun. I don't get to get up into the booth as much as I used to be able to with you, Paul. Life has gotten pretty busy. So when I get the opportunity to do so, I soak it in. And man, I soaked it in tonight. I appreciate this league putting on one heck of a show here for us tonight. And appreciate all these drivers, working their tails off and giving us some great entertainment to call up here. Man, I'll tell you what, Wednesdays is where it's at. If this is your first time watching this league, firing off at 9 p.m. Eastern, make sure you tune in till this season is over and find out when they're going again, because this is must-see TV, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm glad that we are here at Verdane TV to bring it to you.
100%. And Wes, you were the one that noticed him drop first, so I'm going to let you interview him. Chris Spears still kind of hanging out on pit road. Not very happy in that number 7 car, but I'm going to let you talk to him.
Yeah, Chris, man, I watched the caution come out after the pit stop cycled through. I said, man, this is not what Chris Spears wanted, but he'll find his way back up to the front with no issue. And suddenly I saw on the ticker it said you were out, and then it was dropping. I first thought maybe, all right, it's the ticker, malfunctioning, but we don't have malfunctions here at Verdane TV.
Truth.
And then I looked and saw, wait a minute, it says you fell out of the server. Chris, devastating. From dominating this race to blink of an eye being out of it. What happened, man?
Yeah, I coming around to that caution for some reason. I lost track of the server. I'm in VR, and all of a sudden the VR just froze. And at that point, I knew I had to get off track. I didn't want to damage anyone other than myself, so I pulled it to the apron and made a little contact with the wall, I think. But at that point, I was already kicked out and had to restart everything. Really big disappointment for the 7 team. Definitely felt like we had a really great car here tonight.
You guys definitely did, and there was a trend of once you got out front, there was nobody going to pass you, and you were looking to lead it wire to wire when it comes to green flag racing, and you dang near did there, Chris. As a VR racer myself, and who have had that happen, VR definitely comes with its pros and cons, and that's one of the cons. If it's a VR issue, if it's another tech issue, it's something you cannot control, just like in real racing. Something happens mechanically, electrically to that car, it's out of your control, but it seems like that you made the best of it. You were able to come home 11th, just right out of the top 10. But Chris, where do we go from here?
Well, I mean, as far as the setup and things like that, there's not much more that I can do. I actually am running on a backup GPU because I may or may not have overclocked a very expensive GPU at one point, and so I'm on my backup for VR, and I'm sure that doesn't help with it overheating a little bit more here tonight just to be in here. So that's probably what it was. But I really want to give a shout out to everyone in this league. I mean, to come into Bristol and have a long green flag run like that, I wish I could say that my car was set up for that, but it definitely wasn't set up for that long of a run, at least.
No, you guys put on a heck of a show, a very long green flag run, some really hairy situations with you and Purier working through the pack, trying to get through the lap traffic, seeing Trevor Absher doing everything he could to stay on the lead lap, cars bouncing off of each other, keeping you guys close. A great green flag run, and then, of course, just tragedy struck there to just slap you right in the face, unfortunately. But you stuck it out. You got back out here 3 laps down, but you got here to the end. Chris, who would you like to thank to help you get here?
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank J&R Aquatics out of Ypsilanti, Michigan. They came on as a team sponsor. I think you heard Tim and Preston mention them earlier. And then Harpoon Design, Budget Sim Boxes, Butt Kicker, Simnut Sims, and of course FATHEADZ Eyewear. Those guys do a lot for our league, and if you haven't used that promo code, please do so. I know that I have not myself yet, but I plan on to as soon as I get more contacts in this week. So something I'm looking to do. But excited to go to Kansas next week, and hopefully we'll have a little bit better luck than we did here tonight.
Chris, with what happened tonight, I would throw an extra fan or two on that CPU and make sure she doesn't overheat. If that's the overheating issue or whatever it may have been. Hopefully we have Lady Luck on your side there at Kansas. But until then, great run until the technical issues that you had, man. It was a pleasure watching you turn some laps around here at Bristol.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think I'm going to go get a portable AC unit now.
10-4 on that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was your 11th place finisher and most laps led driver of the number 7 machine, Chris Spear.
Great racing here at Bristol, and man, oh man, Tim Wortman Jr. came into tonight a 15-point buffer. Didn't even need it. Came home with the victory here. He is racing for a championship here at Texas Motor Speedway, and you'll be able to see all of the points updated on the FATHEADZ Cup Series Facebook page. Be sure to check them out. Do a quick little search and be able to pull them right up. Check out their website, too. You'll be able to get the schedule. The schedule's only got 3 races left. Kentucky next week, North Wilkesboro after that, and then the championship round of 4 going to be held at Texas Motor Speedway. So really looking forward to the upcoming races here in the FATHEADZ Cup Series, and just made the announcement. We kind of let it slip on the broadcast here last week, but officially announced the next season going to be the Loose Lugs Cup Series, going to be starting off at the end of July with the duels with the clash rather at the road course at Daytona. Going to be able to catch all of that action right here on Verdane TV. So awesome to have all these guys on board with us once again on Wednesday nights. There you can see on screen the schedule, the Multi-League Cup Series racing at COTA tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Myself and Mike James calling all the action. Friday night, we're unavailable. This guy is going to be at Stafford Motor Speedway helping out the Renner Race Car crew. Tough race last week, man. Oh man, the street stocks was an absolute battle. The 66 car has absolutely seen better days, and still looking for a 602 crate motor for that thing. If anybody's got a line on one of those, be sure to give them a shout. But Monday night, back for the Sim 500 Trans Service Cup Series, and then back here Wednesday night, Tim's Corner Motorsports for Tim's Corner Live at 7 p.m. Eastern, and then 9:15 right back here Wednesday night for the FATHEADZ Cup Series at Kentucky Speedway. But that's going to wrap things up here for us here at Verdane TV. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on Facebook and on YouTube. Be sure to check out fatheads.com. That's FATHEADZ with a Z. Use that promo code as Showtime for 40% off at checkout. They got some phenomenal prescription glasses on there, some sunglasses, awesome looking stuff, and they're made for people with wider heads, which is fantastic for me. I got a big old fat Swedish head, so they fit me just fine. And Wes, we got some Liberty Racing stuff. They aren't here on Verdane TV, but they're over at, we can kind of call them our stepsister station over there on Full Throttle TV. What do we got going on with the Liberty Racing series?
Man, we are in the Xfinity car here tomorrow night. We are running 80 laps at Talladega. We are a speedway league, and speedway meaning we run tracks that are 2 miles and larger. We run not only your super speedways, branching off of the legendary Verdane Racing, but we also run the larger tracks such as Michigan, your Poconos, your Indies, your tracks that are bigger than 2 miles, 2 miles or larger, I should say. So we're a brand new league. Inaugural season is this season. We have over 40 drivers signed up. Every race has had over 20 to 30 drivers so far. We have a lot of fun over there, and we're always looking for new drivers. So if it's something you're interested in joining into, you got a decent I rating over 1,000. We just asked you to come apply at the Liberty Racing League over on iRacing and the iRacing League directory, as well as hit us up on Facebook at Liberty Racing League. We got a really good group of guys. And Paul, the cool thing about Liberty Racing League is there's a few of us that date back all the way to 2004, racing NASCAR Thunder 04 on the PS2, that are friends that are racing together on there. So it's been a blast. I appreciate the plug, and Paul, I appreciate you having the chair here waiting for me. I know you guys are typically used to hearing either a Tim Terry or a Kyle Young, and I thought we'd get a little more rowdy up here in the booth every once in a while. And glad to join you, and hopefully there'll be more to come for me to hop in on.
100%. Always glad to have you back up here in the booth, brother. You started this deal off last March and took off like Dogecoin, almost, just not worth quite as much. But man, oh man, that's going to wrap it up here for us tonight. We got some racing coming back with the Multi-League Cup Series of COTA tomorrow night. We'll catch you on the flip side when we do. We're going to be doing it live.